Hello guys, today I want you to take down the notes for 5-3 polynomial functions and then complete the assignment in Google Classroom. Feel free to pause the video whenever you need to in order to write everything down. Rewatch the video as many times as you need to understand. So here I want you to pause the video so that you can copy down the chart. And then we'll talk about some vocabulary here. The leading coefficient is the coefficient of the term with the highest degree. The degree of a polynomial is the value of the highest exponent. And when we talk about highest exponent, we're talking about the exponent of our variables. So here in our chart, we have a constant, which is just like a number. Any number like 12 could be -12, could be 4, -4. The degree for a constant is always going to be 0 because there is no variable, so the exponent is 0. The leading coefficient is going to be 12. For a linear polynomial, here's what that expression looks like: 4x minus 9. So our highest exponent is 1 because there's an invisible 1 for that x. So our degree is 1, and our leading coefficient is the coefficient for that term, so that's 4. For a quadratic, if we look here, our highest exponent is 2, so that's what my degree is. And then the leading coefficient, where the coefficient for that 2 is 5. So leading coefficient is 5. Here, the last one is a cubic. So our highest exponent is 3. So my degree is 3. And then the leading coefficient for that is 8. Okay. State the degree and leading coefficient of each polynomial in one variable. If it's not a polynomial in one variable, explain why. So pause the video and you can try these on your own. Pause it and see if your answers are correct. So here, our degree, I look for the largest exponent and it is 5. So degree is 5, leading coefficient is going to be 8. Okay. Here, I look at this one, 12x squared minus 3xy plus 8y. Now, this is not going to be a polynomial in one variable because there's more than one variable. So I'm going to say that this is not a polynomial in one variable. All right. So not a polynomial in one variable because there are multiple variables. Okay. Here, the last one, 3x to the 4th plus 6x cubed minus 4x to the 8th plus 2x. My degree here, the largest exponent is 8, and then that leading coefficient for it would be a -4. Okay? Okay, example 2, function values of variables. We're asked to find f of 2 if f of x is equal to x squared plus 2x minus 3. All we want to do here is replace all the x's that we see with a 2. So here, f of 2 would equal, now every time you plug in 2, we use parentheses. So it's going to be 2 in parentheses and then squared plus 2 and then in parentheses another 2 minus 3. Now we need to simplify this. So this is not f times 2, it's f of 2. is equal to, make sure you use the correct order of operations. So 2 squared comes first, that's 4, plus 2 times 2 is also 4, and then minus 3. So f of 2 would equal, now it's just addition and subtraction, whatever comes first, left to right. So 4 plus 4 is 8, minus 3 is going to be 5. So f of 2 is equal to 5. That would be our final answer. Okay, last thing is end behavior of a polynomial. So there's 4 possible end behaviors. I want you to copy this down, pause the video. So the first option is the degree would be even and our leading coefficient is positive. So that's something like this. Okay. Here, if it's even negative, then it would be something like this, for example. An odd positive looks like this, something like this. And then odd negative would look something like this. Okay, so those are just some examples of what these graphs would look like, but there are many, many different types of polynomials, so it won't look exactly like this. But how you can tell is you look at your ends. So that's why we call it end behavior. You look at the ends of your graph. Okay, so here from our graph, look at the ends of our even function. So both of these are even. If you look at the ends of my graph, so where the arrows are, both of these are pointing up. If you look at the even negative, both of the arrows are facing down. So right here it says, as x approaches, that arrow means approaches, negative infinity, f of x, which is just y, this could be a y, okay? So when x is going to negative infinity, that's on my x-axis. Negative infinity is this way. So this is where negative infinity is. This is where positive infinity is. So as x goes to negative infinity, y, which is my graph, is going up. And up is also positive infinity. As x goes to positive infinity, so on the right side here, my arrow is going up, so that is also going to positive infinity. Okay, for the even ones, if I look where x is going towards, this is negative infinity, and then this side is positive infinity. Both of my arrows are going down. So when this graph gets closer and closer to negative infinity, it's the graph is getting closer and closer to negative infinity. And same thing here. Okay, here, this is negative infinity. This is where negative infinity. This is positive infinity. Same thing here, negative infinity. And then here is positive infinity. So now these two graphs are odd. So these are odd. This is an odd positive. This one's odd negative. So if I look at the odd positive, my ends of my graph, the arrows, are pointing in opposite directions. So even graphs point in the same direction, where odd graphs point in opposite directions, here and here. So here, when the arrow is going towards negative infinity, the arrow is going down towards negative infinity. As it's going towards positive infinity, this arrow is also going towards positive infinity. And then this one is the opposite. As you get to as x goes to negative infinity, the graph is going up towards positive infinity. and as x goes towards positive infinity, so on the right side here, that arrow is going down towards negative infinity. So if you look at this is your end behavior, and you can write either f of x or y, but this right here, these two sentences, these two math sentences are what end behavior is. This right here. So this is what you would write for end behavior. And you just look at the ends. So at the end, for both of the even ones, you can see that they're both facing in the same direction. So if it's an even graph, they will either both be positive infinity or both be negative infinity. The first part is always the same. It's just that last infinity that you need to plug in. The first part of it is always the same. So even, they're both either both positive or both negative. For the odd, it's opposite. Odd positive means that on the positive side, it's positive. On the negative side, for the negative one, on the positive side, it's negative. Okay, so I want you to try this one. For each graph, answer these three things, pause the video, and try this out. Okay, so here are your answers. So for the first one, A says to describe the end behavior. Those are these two sentences here. As x goes to negative infinity, so on the left side here, it's going towards negative infinity, and the arrow's going up, so that's positive infinity. On the right side, you have positive infinity, and the arrow's going down, so that's negative infinity. That means that it is odd because these are opposite. They're going in opposite directions. One's going towards positive, the other one's going towards negative, so it has to be odd. And then for the number of real zeros for C, that just count the number of times that it crosses the x-axis. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 real zeros. For number 2, if we look at the end behavior, negative infinities right here, positive infinities on this side, and both of our arrows are facing the same direction. They're both going down towards negative infinity. So the first part, all of this is always the same, always the same. It's just that last symbol, whether it's positive or negative infinity, that you have to fill in. So looking at our arrows, they're both going down, so that's negative infinity. It has to be an even because the arrows are facing in the same direction. They're both going down. And then there are 2 real zeros because it crosses once and twice. Okay, so you should be able to complete the assignment for today.